this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your daily horoscope and energy reading for the full moon going into Taurus. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on my general readings anymore for these particular days because I really do deeply feel that these events need to be more about your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. Now, many of you have asked me if you guys need to watch your moon and rising sign when I do my event readings, and yes, you want to. You want to make sure that you do your sun, your moon, and your rising, because especially in the new moon and the full moon readings, definitely do your moon sign or listen to your moon sign so that you can get an accurate reading, because if you combine them, you kind of know where you sit, because your sun is your core, your moon is your emotional state during the event, and your rising sign is how you interact with others, how others perceive you during this event. So yes, you definitely want to watch all three every event. I want to thank all of my new subscribers for supporting these new forecasts. I get really excited when I get to do my event forecasts, when I talk about the sun signs, and I get to get a little bit personal. I can only do about one a week. But let's get started on how this is going to affect your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. Hi Aries, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the full moon going into Taurus. And for you, all of this is going to be happening in your second house. Now, your second house rules who you value, what you value. You think about how others are valuing you, and you're making sure that that you are appreciated when you have energy sitting in your second house like this. And for you, when we have a full moon, the full moon sheds light in the dark parts of our lives. So sometimes when we shed light in the dark part of our lives, it can mean that we get a reality check in a certain area and we end something. So full moons can mean endings, or it is an accumulative energy in some stance. So for you, this has something to do with how you are valued by the ones around you, and even in your job, and what you have. Like, is your lifestyle supporting the vision that you have set for yourself, the standards that you have set for yourself? So for you, Mars in Virgo and Venus in Virgo and Jupiter in Virgo are all conjunct. They're all working together, and when energies are conjunct like this, very close degrees to each other, it suggests that, relationships are being focused on. So you're wanting to see if your relationships in your life truly value you as a human being, and not just what you can give them, right? How you can make their lifestyles better, but are they valuing what you have to give? Also, it has to do with what you're passionate about. It has to do maybe with something very, very creative, very heart-based, right? And it also has to do with routine. So to me, this suggests like work routine, home-based routines, mental well-being routines, physical well-being routines are all in focus here as well. So all these energies are all trining Pluto and Capricorn, and that is your stability, your foundation. So to me, this suggests that this is a home-based, heart-based energy for you. So you're looking around at your house, you're trying to see if this is where you want to live, this is where you want your structure and your foundation to be built on. Is everybody in your house valuing you? And do you feel like you have a really rock solid, stable relationship with everybody around you? Are they all valuing you? Also, it has to do a lot with work. So are the people at work valuing you? Are they, is your salary a significant, does it significantly show that they value you, or are they taking advantage of you and maybe you need to discuss that? Or is your job, is it a solid foundation for you? What's going on? So to me, this suggests that for the most part, energetically, you don't want to do a whole lot about anything. I think you see an imbalance in your home. I really do. I think you see that your work is not sufficiently valuing you. And I really do deeply believe that you know that you need to do something about it, but energetically, I don't know if you want to deal with it right now. We're getting close to the holidays and there's a lot going on, and I just don't think you want to rock the boat very much. But I think that deep down inside, this is taking away some of your personal power. I think that for the most part, you know, I think you're seeing progression. So I think that's why you don't want to rock the boat as much. And I think you really, truly are deeply trying to make people very happy in your life. But I want to say that, because of the progression, I think you're just kind of sitting it out, kind of looking from afar and waiting to see what happens. If something does come up during this event, and the reason I say this is because I drew this for Aries, and this is in the present situation. So perhaps some light is shed that causes you to lose a little bit of personal power. Maybe what's illuminated, the darker parts of something that's illuminated, is maybe something that you need to take a look at as far as in your personal power, how you're maintaining it, or in the stability of your situation, because you're so uninterested in rocking the boat right now. I think what comes up may be just maybe very revealing in this situation, but I don't think it's necessarily altogether bad. It could mean that I think you just need to make a decision. Like, I think you're at the point where you need to make a decision about something. I think a lot of people are living off you. I think a lot of people are depending on you. And I think that for the most part, honestly, I believe that your life isn't going too bad. And so I want to say deeply, energetically, that I feel like you're just not willing to make a change right now. And even though some of the energies may suggest to you that you need to start taking a look at something, and if something does come up at the full moon, I just don't think you're going to do much about it, because for the most part, I see wonderful things for you. I see good energy. I see that you're strong. I see that you're feeling loved. I see that for the most part, you're dominating the situation. You're controlling it. The outcome is going in the direction that you desire. And so I don't think that energetically you're going to do a whole lot if something comes up that challenges some of the situation. And that's actually not a bad place for an Aries energy to be in. You know, let's enjoy some trine time. You know, we've had a lot of quincunx and, opposition where we're trying to make decisions. It's time where you just get to sit back and maybe just enjoy a little trine time and have a relaxed full moon for once. Thank you guys so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Taurus, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for your full moon. Now, you get one full moon a year, and this one is yours. Now, a full moon is a beautiful event. It can be. It also can be a very illuminating event, and it could be a cumulative event and an event that brings about an ending. I don't believe that's going to be in the cards for you during this event because for the most part, we have a lovely trine. Now, trine energy to me is not my most ideal energy. The reason I say that is because a trine usually means that you lack the motivation to do anything about anything that comes up. So if something comes up, if life is genuinely going in the direction that you want it to go, then you really don't want to make a whole lot of changes you just don't feel stimulated. And that's okay, because we've had a lot of overly stimulating energy. Sometimes it's nice to have events that happen that don't make us have a strong desire to dramatically change our lives, right? So for you, all of this stuff is going to be happening in your first house. And so Venus, Mars, and Jupiter are all conjunct, right? They're all conjunct in Virgo energy. And when I say that they're conjunct, I mean they're all working together. And when one energy gets sets off, it sets off all the others. So you're probably very passionate about love right now, partnerships. You're probably very passionate about some of the routines that you're setting up in place. You're probably taking a look at how you can redefine or reestablish your situation to create some stability in your life. You're probably in the evaluation stage. I don't think you're in the let's get it done stage, but you're definitely in the evaluation stage. So let's talk about that. I think your foundation for the most part feels pretty solid. I think there's a fly in my house and my cat is darting off things. So if you see my cat do something crazy in the background, I am so sorry. Animals. Anyhow. So I think for the most part, you're feeling like you've got things figured out. You have some strong tools that you have put into place. And so that is creating a feeling of stability. Maybe some of your relationships are providing you with stability for once. You're not having anything come up. The cumulative energy that you could be feeling in this full moon is the fact that you just all of a sudden feel a sense of calm and peace, and you are accepting of your situation, and there's not a strong desire to do anything about it, and that feels good. You know, you're not over worried, you're not thinking about things, you're not stimulated to make any big changes, and you are feeling at a sense of peace. And I deeply feel that way, that I feel like for the most part a decision is ahead, right? But there's no motivation right now to make changes because I think what you're trying to do is energetically balance your life out and to feel the sense of calm. I think if you look back, I think there are some things in your past regarding a relationship that you are strongly still dealing with, but I don't think you want to necessarily illuminate it during this full moon. And I think for the most part, you're going to ignore this big situation that you have. You have an elephant in the room, but believe me, you're willing to ignore it right now for the fact that you're just trying to work on you. I think what I see deeply is this is all about maintaining and moving forward in routine. Some of the routines that you are trying to align with yourself, you are trying to do things very deliberate and very, you're taking it step by step. I see step by step. Definitely. I think for most of you, there's something that you're leaving behind in your past. I think you're feeling better about it. I think what you are leaving behind, I think you're starting to finally feel better about. To me, there's a situation involving love that I'm seeing that you're dealing with, but on an introspective level. I want to say this doesn't have anything to do with a current love situation as much as a deeply internal process with a situation regarding love. I believe that you need, I still believe that there's a conversation that needs to happen. I think all of this will come to light. There's lots of big plans. Or maybe there's, like in your loving relationships and somebody that you're planning your life with. I think there's a lot going behind the scenes with you. You're thinking about things a lot, but you're not willing to make any big decisions yet. There is stuff playing out in your head. There's a big decision that I think you're resonating on. You're just in a state where you need to keep it all together and not become, there's no impulsive nature in this reading whatsoever. There's no need to get it done. There's no need to push forward. You're feeling passionate about something, but it's not like, Mars and Aries or Mars and Leo, where you just got to do something about it. You don't have to do anything about it. This is a lovely full moon for you. I think you're going to find that this full moon makes you stronger internally. Maybe some of the accumulative energy that you feel during this full moon is just a sense of inner peace and balance, and that you feel solid. You do. This isn't about making others around you feel solid. You are aligned with, I want to say with energetically, because I think for most of you, you have went through a big transformation in this. And this is all internal work. This isn't external. Your external world got some work to do, but you're not at all motivated to deal with that. And that's okay. Let's deal with some downtime. Let's just be proud of the fact that you've got here, and that you're starting to figure things out, and that you're starting to connect and become energetically aligned with inner peace. And you can move forward with forward energy later. I'm telling you, after this, it just gets so lovely with moving forward with things. And I think the fact that you are truly and deeply aligned energetically with what you desire in your foundation. And I mean, love is a sore spot right now, but for some reason it's not your focus. Your focus is you. Your focus is your innermost desires. Your focus is getting your finances secure. You want, and maybe work secure. You want work to be solid. You want your finances to be solid, and you want, your core, your inner self to be completely calm before you deal with this looming love issue that I kind of see here, or this decision that you need to make. Definitely regarding love. I think it's present-based and past-based. So I want to say, I see for some of you, there are two people involved, two people that you are dealing with, making a decision between. But again, that's not where the energy is going to be for this full moon. It's a lovely full moon. Enjoy this peaceful moment, and spiritual guidance is going to be something that may enlighten you. If you have somebody that you talk to that you just resonates with you, or if you just have your favorite astrologer to listen to, or something is going to hold answers for you that is going to bring you much peace and balance during this beautiful lunar event. Thank you guys so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Geminis, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the full moon that is going to be in Taurus. This gorgeous lunar event is, for the most part, a lovely event for just about every sign, but for you, it is going to illuminate something very important. So a full moon is an event that happens that helps us make decisions. And for some of us, it can be very accumulative energy, meaning if we're having a hard time making a decision, a full moon can come into our lives and accumulate data and help us see something that maybe we didn't always see. So for many of us, when this happens and something is illuminated to this degree, it brings about sometimes endings, sudden dramatic endings. It's not like an eclipse where it's an absolute change, but it is something that happens. Sometimes it takes about 30 days for it to evolve, but something usually comes to light during a full moon. And for you, all of this is going to be happening in your 12th house. So the 12th house is the house of your unconscious mind. It is the house of karma. It is the house of reckoning. It is the house of our undoing. So there is something that, sorry, I had to do. My dog was going to jump up here and it's all over my cards. Anyhow, so for you, all of this stuff is going to be happening in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is a very difficult area because sometimes where we hide things from our conscious state, and there's a reason why we hide them, is sitting in our 12th house. And so for you, the problem with this, oh, there's that fly. My cat is trying to kill. So for you, Mercury and Libra is going to be opposing Uranus and Aries. So this is balance and maybe a message in the fact that you, or maybe there's a message in a conversation that you have that maybe throws something for you off balance, or maybe you learn something that maybe rocks your boat a bit and throws you a little bit off balance, and so you have a Uranian moment that comes into your life and shakes things up a bit, or awakens a certain area, or awakens this unconscious realm, this thing that you need to deal with that comes up during this full moon. Now, also at the same moment, maybe that thing that comes up is something that really rocks your foundation. Maybe somebody has a conversation with you about a situation in your life, or about about how you're identifying your ego, or about how you're moving forward, and or maybe somebody is giving you some constructive criticism about some of the areas that you need to work on. And maybe for you, this is not an accepting conversation. I think for the most part, you're feeling like you have a visualization of what you want, and it's a realistic expectation at this point. You're not seeking something that that is not attainable, and you're making a decision, and this decision is very important to you. So it's something that you're pondering and you're trying to gather information about. And this needs to be something that helps you maintain a state of balance at this point. It's something that you're very passionate about. It's something that you've been passionate about in the past, but yet has not worked out. So you're wanting to make very deliberate movements moving forward. And so I think there's a lot of pain associated with moving forward. You're trying to let go of some of your fears and anxieties about the situation. This is something that's left you damaged, or you're hesitant about making this decision because in the past you weren't successful at it. So I don't think you're aligning quite yet with what you need to do. And that could be some of the illuminating that happens in this situation. what could be illuminated is the fact that even though you know that you have something to give, you're thinking too much, right? You're in your head too much about it, and it's making it really difficult. And then that's creating anxiety, and that's creating a dependency issue with you. You want somebody to tell you, what to do or how to proceed forward. That's what you've always done, is you have your sources that you respect and that you have validated, but the idea needs to, the deep desire needs to come from within you. Nobody can see the vision quite like you. And so I think if you go to talk about it, then maybe you get shut down, and maybe that starts you doubting yourself about something. So I think that that's where you're having some of your personal power questioned with inside yourself, like where you don't feel aligned with the situation. And I don't want you to feel that way. This is a process. What comes up at the full moon, if it does challenge you in any way, just know that what comes up is something valid. What comes up is probably something unconscious you probably have not, either you've suppressed, or it's a fear, or it's a limiting, blocked energy, something that you need to think about and move forward with. And it's something that I feel is very positive. It won't feel that way, but it is very positive, because this is a beautiful full moon. And I think for anytime you work in your 12th house, sweetie, anytime you're sitting in that world of dealing with your unconscious realm, it is not the easiest energy to deal with. And so it's normal to feel anxiety, stress. You feel like you just need a little tender, loving care during this time. But I think that you have a great support system. I think that there are many good things in your life, and I think taking your attention off of what's not working and this limitation, and turning your attention to what is working and the support system, and just being firm in what you see as your future. Don't let somebody tell you, don't let somebody make you so mutable that you're doing what they say, right? Keep a hold of the idea that you have. Keep a hold of the vision that you have and this forward energy. And don't let anybody compromise your belief system, because energetically you're aligning with your purpose and your authentic reason for being here. And they don't know your journey. They don't know your journey quite like you. And so don't let them twist this into anything but your journey. And even though you have a lovely support system that is definitely there for you, I don't want you to be mutable as in this energy. I want you to be strong, firm. This is a Taurus moon, so you're strong, you're firm, you're stubborn, you're holding on to your ideals, you're holding on to your vision, you're making your own decisions, and you're moving forward in the best way that you know how, and have the confidence and the strength and the determination to get out of your head. That's all I'm going to say. It's nice. I mean, yes, you may experience a power struggle. Yes, it may make you feel vulnerable. It may make you feel like you want to get somebody's approval. Don't get caught up in the negative energy in this full moon, because for the most part, it's a lovely full moon. Just stay strong and value your opinion, value what you have to give, and move forward. Thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Cancers, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the full moon that is going to be happening today in Taurus. And for you, all of this is going to be happening in your 11th house. Now, your 11th house is the house of friendships. It is the house of social networking, social media, and it's a lovely house. And I love the energy that you have during this full moon event. Now, as you know, being a Cancer, you're ruled by the moon, and so you're energetically very susceptible to each full moon event. It's not like it has to be your moon for you to understand the power of a full moon. So for you, I am happy to say that it is just filled with delicious energy. So I think for the most part, this is going to be one of those full moons that really emotionally starts to fill in some of the areas where I think you've been feeling very challenged and deficient. We just went through a lot of emotional energy. We have this beautiful Scorpio sun that we're dealing with. And so I think that because our core is feeling aligned, we went through Neptune and Pisces, and we also went through some Chiron energy, really starting to release and unlock some of our blocked energies. All this watered energy is purifying you. I see it as just, oh my gosh, I saw it as purification, and then it was like, oh my God, look at this card I drew for you. So over the past week or so, I think you're starting to feel the sense of just, there's still work to be done. You feel it, and I know that energetically I do too, but I also feel a release of several blocked energies that I have been clinging to. It's almost like emotionally I wanted to be released from these energy sources, but releasing those energy sources meant loss in some very unhealthy way. And so I was holding on to these energies on an unconscious level. And I think that when all this Neptune and Chiron energy and this Scorpio moon came into play, I literally felt like I was unshackled and released from some very detrimental energy that I've been holding on to for a very long time. And for I think that for many of you, there was a lot of Aries energy that really challenged you to make some decisions. And I think that change is a big deal. It's when you have all this Aries energy stimulating you to make changes like you've had, over the past few days. Change is like one of those energies that really make a Cancer want to suck back into their shell. Not that they're incapable of change, because initiating change is actually part of a characteristic that every Cancer has. They're very good at it, but it is also a somewhat unsettling energy. So I think what is going to be illuminated during this full moon event is that some of your friendships may make you feel accepted and loved and can stabilize some of this energy. We have the full moon in Taurus is going to be trining Pluto and Capricorn, and it is going to be sextiling Neptune and Pisces. So for many of you that have been having a lot of reality checks in the unconscious realms, and you dealt with a lot of this water energy purifying your soul, unblocking and unleashing some of these energy sources that we actually need to move forward with, I believe that there are some energies that it's released in us, made us extremely aware of the fact that we had blocked energies. I think for many of us that had to do with deeply heart-based energy sources, love, passion, the knowledge of the limitation can be somewhat stressful for you to know that the reality of your situation was in fact this. You had idealized or maybe glossed over or rosed over some details, and that reality check, I think, over the past few days has been very energetically unpleasing, but I think we're starting to turn all that around. So I think friends are going to be a great source of companionship, acceptance. I think that you're going to start to feel more accepted as a nurturing energy, as a nurturer. You know, I think for the most part, most cancers try to suppress that side of them, the softer side of them, but I think that people are starting to energetically really appreciate what it takes to be a nurturer in this world, and I think you're starting to get on board with that. Now, I'm not going to lie, there's, you know, your home is a sense of, it's not in alignment yet. So what could be illuminated is just more of what do you desire, right? So energetically, you want love, right? You want your home life to be very full and very pleasing. You want to feel very stable. And, you know, you want all of the hard work that you've been doing to pay off. And you're feeling a little wounded, but stronger, right? You're very strong. You're at the end of all of this cycle, right? This is the ending of the struggle that you have been dealing with, and you are now cleansing and redefining and moving forward. So this is going to be a lovely full moon for you. I think that, you know, you're going to feel very passionate about something, and you're going to feel like, you know, energetically, you want to take some risk to make sure that the energy gives you what you want. You're setting firm and strong boundaries with people now, and you're not afraid of doing that anymore. You know, where before you needed to feel accepted more than set the boundary, now you're setting the boundary, and you're confident in where it's going to go. I'm not saying that everything is hunky-dory in a Cancer's life and everything is just energetically where you want it to be. I definitely do not see that. I see, though, that you're willing to pick up the pieces and move forward. And what is going to be illuminated, the cumulative energy that's going to happen during this full moon, is the fact that you're done being the victim, right? You're done feeling like there are pieces missing. You're willing to go out and make sure that your home life it fills you up. And, you know, the absolute key is going to be how you're perceived by others. You know, your friendships, your social networks are going to be a key. Maybe you could meet somebody who could turn all of this around and make you feel, you know, energetically appreciated. Somebody could see something very beautiful about you, or they could think you're very beautiful, or they just have a strong desire to get closer to you, and that may make you feel valued. So some of the energy that may come through this is just a reality in the check that you have something to give that other people are starting to value and see. It's a gorgeous full moon for you. I'm very happy to bring you good news during full moons. You know, I don't think that making big decisions, I mean, it's not like you want to sign up and do social network, you know, like you want to sign up and, you know, start internet dating. I don't see that, but I just see that what I do see is that mentally, what you're fixating on as far as what you need from life to feel happy, you are on the right track. Sometimes what's scary is we don't know how to proceed forward, or we don't know how to move forward, or we don't know how to create a strong foundation. You have the key right now. I'm not saying that you're there yet, but you have the key, and that's at least something, right? So the cumulative energy is you figured out what you want, you're strong in your ideals, you're setting powerful boundaries, and you're moving forward. And if life isn't perfect, it is going to be. Thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Leos, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the moon going in for the full moon in Taurus. And for you, this is all going to be happening in your 10th house. Now, the 10th house is your career, life path, destiny, which stands to reason I drew nothing but pentacles during this entire reading. So you're thinking about getting ahead, or a outcome, or a goal. And I want to say that this is recognition. You want recognition. You want that recognition to pay off. Like at this point, you are trying to find a way to create a really strong foundation that is also generating revenue. Absolutely. So I definitely see that you could be fixating on the financial aspect of life and less about the fulfillment, the internal fulfillment. You're looking at, you have an idealistic picture, and really honestly, money is a big focus in that. So maybe some of your decisions that you are making have to do with the fact that you are wanting it to pay off, like monetarily. You are wanting to, perhaps you're wanting a new car, and you're wanting this idealistic house, and you're wanting this lifestyle. And so you're starting to make decisions based on ego, materialism, and I kind of think at some point some of the wrong things. So and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because many of those things can set you on a path. Like if you deeply desire something, it can set you on a path moving forward and achieving goals. And then your career, life path, destiny could be revealed in those areas. Your motivation may change, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So for many of you, the sun is going to be in Scorpio. This is a very intense position for the sun to be in. And so this is about getting control over your situation and feeling like you have everything figured out. Now, it's opposing, of course, the moon, right? Which is what creates a full moon. And so the moon is in Taurus, and so we've got the opposing energies of the moon in Taurus, and we've got the sun in Scorpio. These are very stubborn energies, both of them, in different ways. One is really wants to be fulfilled monetarily and emotionally, is a really big aspect to a Taurus energy. But for a Scorpio energy, it is more the way that they feel, or the way that energy feels in its highest vibration, is to have ultimate control over the destiny or the outcome, ultimate control over it, for fear not to slip in a negative energy, not to drive this. So I think what it's asking you is to deeply connect energetically with this, but to have some control over your outcome, but to also be emotionally fulfilled as well. And the thing to consider is the career, life path, destiny that you're on right now. Is it in alignment with with the total outcome? Now, I'm not talking about monetary outcome, and I'm not talking about getting you to the destination that you see. I'm talking about, does it emotionally fulfill you? And something key could be illuminated during this time. And I want to say that it has been. I want to say that something ego-based has been coming up these last few days that has really made you question some of the things that you're doing right now. And I want to say that you at some point had a very idealistic view on something that I don't think you're wanting to let go of. And so maybe some information could come up during this lunar event that may make you make different choices, as far as, I mean, your outcome is always going to be your outcome. Right? It's going to be this you're just monetarily set in life, and you have the social recognition that you desire, and you have the financial resources that you desire. That is not going to change, but I think getting other people to appreciate you to the degree that you see yourself, I think that that's going to be a challenge. So I think there are times that I think what you're missing energetically is the need to be fulfilled emotionally on all five senses, right? To be in alignment with, energetically being fed, not just moving forward and pushing and going for your goals, but to really feel like you're getting that transformation that you desire. All in all, I think it's a lovely energy for you. I think that there are just some basics, maybe that the earth type energy is what you want to really ask yourself. Are you on the right track? And earth energy really has to do with your foundation and the solid footing, and feeling secure and feeling valued, seeking peace in what you currently have, and valuing the relationships and the status that you have right now, and slowly thinking and processing this all through. Don't be so gung-ho, impatient, wanting to change your outcome right now, because that's when you fall into all this negative Aries ego-based energy where you're getting a little fracking full of yourself, getting too cocky, and then conversations with others may be not very fulfilling for you, may be very upsetting to you, because you're like, you know what? I deserve this recognition. I deserve this place in life. I deserve all of this. And you're just getting a little bit too big for your britches. So I think this full moon may illuminate that a little bit. Now, again, energetically, I think for the most part, you're feeling decent. You are aligned with your personal power. Your foundation is exactly what you desire. And I think for the most part, you're fine. But I just want you to understand that you have much more to give, and you may be missing out on what you have to give if you're caught in Uranian, Aries, ego-based responses to where you're at in life, and you're not aligning and trying to control everything. Align with your five senses and just simple pleasures. Simple things can make you feel almost more rich than the monetary outcome that I see that you're focusing on. Thank you guys so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Virgos, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the full moon going into Taurus. And for you, okay, so I know we have a lot of Virgo energy right now during this event. We have Venus, Jupiter, and Mars all in conjunct during this event, but I feel like for the most part you're solid in that area. I think your work routines you're fine in, as far as in the fact that you're not going to change anything or feel very overly stimulated to make any changes in those areas. I think your foundation is okay. It's solid. It's where you want it to be. I don't see you needing to make a bunch of changes right now. During this lunar event, the ninth house is going to be emphasized for you. And when the ninth house is emphasized, it elevates your thinking. It illuminates part of your mind that takes you away from day-to-day thinking, right? Takes you away from general processing, general analytical thinking of like how to maximize routines, and it really turns your focus to the big picture, the road ahead, aligning with something bigger than what you're doing right now. So it's probably going to be a lot of conversations about how you want to move forward. Now, for some of you, I want to say that this is going to be in conversations with others. Maybe there's a lot of talk about moving forward in relationship, right? Or what are your long range goals and what do you see for the future? You know, can you make these plans together? The difficulty I see in this lunar event is that maybe a conversation, or maybe you become acutely aware that there is something not quite right or in balance in the outcome that you desire. And this is going to make you extremely defensive during this lunar event. Now, a lunar event like this, a full moon, is an accumulative energy. So you could have this comes up and it could make sense of something that has been missing, or maybe there is a message that really strikes home. Maybe you have a conversation that just really illuminates part of something that you didn't, that was like the missing piece in something, an outcome that you have been trying to figure out. For some of you, this could be a conversation with a partner that you maybe doesn't align with your ego, doesn't align with how you define yourself. And so maybe there's a need to find balance. Now, I want to say that during this lunar event, you're not in balance. In fact, I'm pretty darn certain you're not. I want to say that something is going to come up that's going to make you feel combative about this, or maybe it's a conversation that comes up. It could be with somebody from your childhood. It could mean something to do with your siblings. It could be something to do with, maybe you could be having a conflict about raising children with a partner, or something having to do with your children. It could be something like you have a conversation with your family and you get in an argument with your family about your children, or how you're raising your children, or or maybe like there's a custody thing going on. Or maybe there is some sort of a legal issue regarding your children that may come up during this lunar event, that, you know, you desire a specific outcome that is just tried and true to your, what you know that you feel you deserve. And so I think a lot of that could just, I don't know, be the thing that's throwing your balance off, making you have to defend your stance on something, and it's compromising your personal power, or it's at least the person that you're energetically dealing with doesn't see. Or maybe it's just, it's a lack of appreciation for you that you are not going to tolerate. You're going to stand strong, firm, and you are not going to budge on this issue whatsoever. I'm not going to say you've been through a lot, so and you normally take on most of the burdens in the issue. So I want to say that, you know, especially over these last few days, I just think that ego really, you had to stand up for something. You had to stand for something. You had to take a rebellious stance in conversations with others, or in a legal dispute, or in something that I just think that for the most part was like, where did that come from in this normally pleasing soul? Like, I think people truly underestimated you. This isn't going to be something that's going to make you feel altogether good. This could be a sudden jolt or an awakening in an area. This moon could definitely illuminate something that is not in balance. And it could be something that you have to deal with. Now, of course, you're going to look at the fair side of everything and try to stabilize it, look at a powerful outcome, and you're going to look at what meets the needs of all. But I think energetically, you're going to fight for for what you know is fair, just, tried, true, that is a stable outcome. And you're very strong on this point. So I think that it's not you that's not in a line, right? It's not you that's not in balance. It is the situation that throws you off balance. But it's not energetically your core, your ego. You are aligned with what you see as your outcome. And you know what? You don't have to prove that to anybody. That's not what you're going to do here. But there is a decision that needs to be made. And it is something to do with the fact of that you need to stop carrying all the weight or the burden or the it's like you're fighting and everybody's wanting to blame you, but you're saying, that is not the outcome. That is not the situation. And so you take this stand, and I want to say you come out on top. You come out on top, you come out even more energetically balanced than you were before. I think what this is all about is just Virgo energy is about not being as mutable as it once was. Not listening to people, not needing approval anymore. It's about getting your outcome to be what you desire it energetically to be. And your ego, you're in a line with your ego. You know, the redefining your ego for you is having ego, you know, a very firm, strong belief system, and fighting energetically to be recognized and for others to accept this new you, right? This new stand that you're taking with yourself. It's a beautiful energy. Even though I see that you're probably going to have some conflict in the full moon, you're probably going to have some very intense conversations. There may be some childhood things that come up, or child-related things that come up. I think for the most part, this is a beautiful energy. You know what? You're strong and you're firm and you are energetically connected with the purpose, with forward movement. And so this is going to be issues that other people have that they need to work out, not you need to work out. Thank you guys so much for listening to Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Libras, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the full moon going into Taurus. And for you, all of this is going to be happening in your 8th house. Now, 8th house is a big house. It's the house of transformation and death and regeneration and rebirth. And it's just and I love the energy that you have in this 8th house, right? Because this full moon is a beautiful full moon. It is not like we've had in the past, where, you know, they've been heavily opposed or quincunxing. This moon, for the most part, just has trine energy in it. So for you, Venus, Jupiter, and Mars are all in conjunct working together, right? And they are trining Pluto and Capricorn. So honestly, what this means for the most part is that you are not feeling, I think you're feeling fulfilled. I think you're feeling like, for the most part, you don't want to make waves because it's good enough. You know, you're feeling like there are things that a change is imminent. You know that there's a change imminent, but you are not feeling highly motivated to do anything about it. You need to make a decision. not feeling incredibly motivated to do that. You know that it needs to be done, and you know that something, and if something does come up during this lunar event, because what a full moon does is it does illuminate issues in our lives that we may be hiding from ourselves, or that other people may be hiding from ourselves. It illuminates the darkness in our life, right? And for some of us, that could mean that it illuminates the darkness and shows a beautiful moonlit night, right? And for some of us, it could show us, you know what? When the full moon hit that area over between those two houses, there was a boogeyman there. So it can do a lot of things. But I believe that in this energy, if something does come up, I think for the most part, I don't feel like it's anything that you feel like you need to make a hasty decision about. I do feel that there are issues regarding love that I think in the future that you're going to need to deal with, but you're not feeling energetically stimulated enough to deal with. I believe that for the most part, your ego is being fed enough, right, to maintain a stance of doing nothing. This is probably the easiest full moon I've had to talk about in a really long time, because there's no need to make big changes, right? There's nothing that's super bad that you feel like you just have to make a change with. There are things that you need to deal with, but you're not motivated to do it. You're not energetically stimulated to do. I believe that there's some issues of how you're being valued, and some, I believe that, you know, there are issues in other people's lives. I want to say that it's in probably your lover's life, or somebody that's deeply appeals to your heart. Or creative endeavor or heart-based endeavor that is not energetically just right, but I don't think you're going to do anything about it, or even particularly interested in making this change. Change will come. Change is going to come for you. And you will have to make a decision when this change comes. And I think that something may come up, and it's going to be unexpected, and it's going to be something you're going to ponder and think about, and you may feel somewhat blindsided, but I don't think you, and it may have something to do with it that you're not being valued in quite the way that you still know that you need to be, but I don't think that you're going to feel altogether stimulated to make any changes, come up with any new ideas, any creative perspectives on it. I think you just want to chill out for a while and just align with the good side in life, and just accept your situation for what it is, and not make any big changes right now, because, and it could mean because the holidays are coming, and for the most part, energetically, you're secure, and, you know, your foundation's pretty solid. So I think that there is a change coming. There is. I see it all over the reading. It's just not something you're going to do right now, or pour a lot of energy into changing, or you may be thinking about it, but it's something that you'll do on your own time, on your own sweet time, and it's in it. And I think that for the most part, I think you're fine. I mean, honestly, I don't think this is going to be an earth-shattering full moon for you. And if it is, I think you'll deal with it. And really, honestly, I think what you'll do is deny the situation even happened. I want to say. This isn't a terrible thing. Look, we've had so much energy pushing and prodding us and giving us no alternative but to change something, an outcome that we're not energetically ready to. It is nice to have stuff coming up in a way that we can think about, ponder, but we don't got to make any sudden and drastic changes with. Even if things suddenly come up, it's not something that you have to do something about right now. Something is going to come up that is going to dredge up some old wounds about how you value yourself. And it's going to be heart-based. It's going to be, the heart-based thing that comes up is going to be what is illuminated. But again, the beauty is you don't got to do nothing about it. Let's just train the energy out. Let's just enjoy the full moon. You know, and just know that we get a day off from transforming our entire fracking lives. Thank you guys so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event.